The year was 1947. India had finally become free, but she was broken. A country that was weakened by 200 years of British exploitation was now suffering from hunger, communal riots, and a war with its newly born neighbor. Millions were homeless. The few roads that existed were crumbling, and rivers had no dams. The leaders who had taken India to independence had a dream to rebuild the country, but that dream faced a massive challenge. All this rebuilding needed one crucial ingredient, and India had a severe shortage of it: cement. Out of its 23 cement factories, India lost 5 to the partition. Just 18 factories to rebuild a country of 34 crore people. The task seemed impossible. But fast forward to today, powered by India's biggest business barons and with a silent but massive contribution from the mighty house of Tatas, India is the second largest producer of cement in the world. It directly provides jobs to 14 lakh people in India. Barons reported that in the past decade, money spent on road and metro systems has increased by up to 12 times. Because the government is aiming to double its GDP to $7 trillion by 2030. And the backbone of all this construction is going to be cement. So how did India and Tata Motors pull off the impossible in 70 years? The joy of India's freedom fighters was quickly replaced by worry in 1947. India had a severe shortage of cement, but the solution was very difficult. Setting up a new cement plant could take years, but India needed as much cement as possible immediately. So the government took matters into its own hands. And in the decades that followed, public sector cement giants were born. Cement factories owned directly by the government. But the government did not stop there. Cement was so scarce and the demand was so high that the risk of overpricing by private companies was very high. So the government took a bold move, introducing a strict price control. The government also decided which buyers or states will receive how much supply. And initially it looked like an excellent strategy. The MRP was controlled and cement was used in sectors that needed it the most: roads, dams, housing, and factories. But it also had a shocking consequence. The controlled prices were so low that companies had no incentive for growth. That's why the demand continued to outpace supply, even giving rise to black marketing and corruption. And then came a turning point that changed cement in India forever. The government ended control on cement's prices and distribution in 1989, creating a free market. And there was no looking back. Giants like Ultratech and ACC were incentivized to invest heavily. So they scaled up so quickly that India became the world's second largest cement producer by the dawn of 2001. But that production capacity isn't the craziest part. It is the cost. From one of the costliest cement prices in the world, India's cement prices are one of the lowest in the world today. So how did India achieve this, and what role did Tata Motors cleverly play in this? To understand the pricing of cement, let's look at its journey. It starts with the mining of raw materials like limestone, which is the main ingredient. These are crushed into a fine powder and heated in a kiln. This forms clinker, hard grey balls of fused material. And clinker is ground once again and mixed with materials like gypsum, finally producing cement. But here's the shocking part. Raw materials and fuel only account for about 60 to 70% of the total cost. Transportation of raw materials as well as the final cement could be as high as 30% of the total costs. And that's where Tata Motors has revolutionized India's cement industry. Logistics is the backbone of the cement industry because transportation can make or break the cement production cost. Cement is a low value, high volume product where 1 kg of cement could cost less than 10 rupees. That is a price per kg lower than salt. On top of that, cement plants are usually near limestone mines while the demand is far away in urban centers. That's why cement has to move long distances, which becomes disproportionately expensive. But the problems don't end there. Bad roads, monsoon damage causing spoilage, port congestion, all these can increase costs and delay critical projects. And that's where one of the most trusted business houses in India has played a silent role. Partner. Tata Motors, India's largest manufacturer of trucks. Tata's light commercial vehicles and heavy commercial vehicles, also known as LCVs and HCVs, are the lifeline of cement logistics. And the way Tata Motors did it is absolutely unbelievable. Shortly before India's independence, JRD Tata, a man with a spine of steel, started Telco to build rail locomotives and make India self-reliant. But he had a shocking realization after independence. Not even a single Indian company made commercial vehicles domestically. All of them were imported, either completely built or as ready-to-assemble kits. So he did something no Indian could imagine. Cleverly partnering with Mercedes-Benz, he produced the first made-in-India truck in 1954. But that was just the beginning. Telco became Tata Motors, Ratan Tata took over from JRD Tata, and they evolved as if their only purpose was to support the industries of India, including cement. No matter what the size of their trucks was, Tata made them with zero compromise on quality. The truck trucks were engineered for high uptime and consistent productivity, so no one else came even close to matching its performance. But the craziest part is Tata's unmatched fuel efficiency. Cement often has to travel hundreds, even thousands of kilometers, and Tata Motors made trucks that delivered. With a rugged and reliable design, they provided seamless connectivity irrespective of tough terrains or heavy loads. But that's not the only reason nobody sells more commercial vehicles than them today, because Tata Motors noticed something that everyone else missed. Fuel efficiency and powerful engines are essential, but there is one thing that cement manufacturers and suppliers care about even more: peace of mind. Because such long haul journeys make vehicles prone to problems. But such downtimes are often unpredictable, which could potentially cause a loss of time, money, and peace of mind for stakeholders. That's why Tata Motors built not only one of the most reliable trucks, but also a world-class service network for timely service and reduced downtime. With 1600 workshops across India, Tata Motors commercial vehicles has the most widespread service network. So if the customers need service, it's always close and quick. But Tata Motors wasn't done yet. So they created something so revolutionary in 2020 that changed the cement industry in India forever. Tata Motors realized that the owners of these truck fleets had major problems. They had no way of tracking the vehicle, no way of knowing whether the driver was following the route and driving safely. On top of that, missed maintenance, servicing, and unexpected breakdowns increased costs. So Tata Motors launched Fleet Edge, a platform that offered something that sounded too good to be true. It offered real-time fleet management with GPS tracking, including route history. But along with that, it also tracks the vehicle's health parameters like trouble codes, battery voltage, and coolant temperature. Using this data, it notifies cement fleet managers of upcoming maintenance or issues before time. But Fleet Edge also uses data like no human can. Crunching all the data, it provides insights and analytics on fuel consumption, idle time, and even driver behavior, enabling cost savings as well as driver safety. So with amazing build quality, after-sales service, and a never-ending focus on innovation, Tata Motors silently powered logistics of India's gigantic cement sector. And that's how India conquered cement globally. But the war for India is far from over, because now India is fighting a global enemy. The cement industry faces a new challenge now: sustainability. Cement is one of the largest contributors to the national carbon footprint, estimated at around 7 to 8% of the country's total CO2 emissions. Because if you look closely, the scope of pollution exists at every step of the supply chain. The processing of limestone in kilns directly emits tons of CO2. Then Indian plants mainly use coal and petcoke for fuel, both of which are high in carbon. And finally, the transportation has traditionally been done by commercial vehicles, which were powered by diesel. So as the second largest producer of cement in the world, India also has the opportunity to have the highest impact on global carbon emissions. And thankfully, India is moving in the right direction. Cement giants in India are adopting innovative green solutions like using waste heat for generating power, blending eco-friendly fuels with traditional fuels, and cutting down on overall emissions. The government is also planning to launch the carbon credit trading scheme next year. So if a cement factory reduces pollution more than required, it will earn carbon credits. These credits can be sold to another company which might be struggling to meet its pollution targets. This will encourage cement producers to cut emissions even further. Over time, the government will lower the total pollution allowed, pushing all industries to become greener. And when it comes to logistics, Tata Motors is once again the front runner in this green revolution. From CNG powered commercial vehicles to electric trucks designed for industrial use, Tata is reimagining cement logistics with a green future. And with a green future in mind, India's cement industry continues to expand. Despite India's success, the per capita cement usage is still 260 kg, much below the global average of 540 kg. So the growth potential is massive with a long way to go. That's why major cement producers like Ultratech and Ambuja are responding. Significant capacity expansions are upcoming with collective investments of around $14 billion. That will increase India's annual cement capacity 25% by 2028. And just like the last 70 plus years, Tata Motors stands with the cement sector in this journey. As India grows, Tata Motors stands committed to this journey. From small cargo vehicles to giant trucks, from digital fleet management to electric trucks, Tata Motors ensures India's cement dream becomes a reality. Because for the house of Ratan Tata, it's not just about mobility, it's about moving India towards better always. If you made it this far, please help me grow by liking this video and subscribing to my channel. Follow me on Instagram and LinkedIn for amazing short videos. Until I see you in the next video, goodbye.